Hi, yeah, it's Xavier, and welcome to my bonsai retreat. And today we're going to look at a couple of the failed air layers from last year. One of them I did some stuff with, and the other one I just left. And this first one was this small leaf lime, Linden, and I had every reason to think it was going to be a fantastic air layer. The location was just here, and looking closer, it looks like it bridged. But needless to say, it's growing strong up there, and my intention was to remove it. Again, with a lot of these dig trees, the root structure can be pretty appalling, and I need to look at that. But I need to look and decide whether or not this, in its own right, is worth airlaying. And to be fair, I can see a tree there. To be fair, it could be really interesting. But I've decided that in this instance, I'm just going to remove that and concentrate on where I originally wanted it. So this is an example of where the air layer fails. I've been able to do nothing else with the rest of the tree, and I'm literally a year behind. Now, granted, I think this could well be it could actually make a pretty decent tree, actually. I'll sit there, cut there. Although they're pretty vertical branches, so no, I'm quite happy. Oh, I think that's the police coming to tell me that I'm wrong. They're going to interview me about my my air layers and whether or not I should take one. So I'm going to remove it, and that should be relatively easy. Mechanical doodahs. First of all, get rid of the main hunk. I'm not denying there could have been a nice little air layer there. Get a nice tree from that. Tell you what, should we do an experiment? Let's just pop this and see what happens, shall we? Use my delicate cutters. Just reduce a little bit of the foliage this thing's going to have to try and support with nothing. If anyone's wondering, I don't actually seriously think this is going to work. But I've seen stranger things. You've seen my bonsai, you've definitely seen stranger things. Okay. Huh. Some of that on there. Oh, I'm going to water it. I'm going to put it in the garden somewhere, and then forget about it, because really I think the only thing you'll see that probably at Guy Fawkes night when we're having our little bonfire bash for the dead trees. Let's get back to the serious stuff, shall we? Okay, so that's what we've got left with. I'm going to go in a little bit tighter on that now. Clearly we've got a collar there, so we'll take it off there. Now, I've kept speaking about using Vaseline. I'm going to be taking that down further, so I just want to seal against infections. I want to see myself. I keep talking about it. Let's just see how it works. And if the rest of the tree dies, jeepers, it didn't work. No, it should be fine. It's just sealant. It's all sealant. It's also much better, the skin. That's that. Let's have a look and see where we think this tree is going to go now. When I first decided where the air layer was going to go, I had a front in mind, and I think I actually did a little bit of wiring. And probably if I was doing all the preparation I should do, I would have watched the video, and then I'd know exactly where the front is. But I've forgotten, and it's not as apparent as I thought it was. So it's going to have to be centered on the fact we've got the main trunk here. Probably not that, because that's coming towards us. That's got to be a back branch if we keep it, which means I must have been looking either in there, or more likely I was looking in there. I don't know, was I going to remove another branch? This is quite a long one. If you look at these two, they come from the same point. That's actually got some nice interesting movement, which would suggest I move that one. Putting a front on it, which means I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised I kept that if I had that in mind. I really ought to watch that video, but you know what? Let's look at this. The front, if we're going to make use of any of this interesting root system, this is a problem. It's coming straight at us. There's a bud coming here. That's actually going to be quite interesting. Unless I took it further down. No, mind you, that's coming towards us. That branch coming out there would take it out this back part here. Could actually lead to me removing more of this. But either way, one of these two has to go. I think that's got the most promise to it. This one's going. Yes, I know. There is definitely a tree in there as well. I'll put that in soil. Probably will. I'll put that in soil as well and see what happens. Comes alive if the other one works out. Yeah, I'll put that in soil. Just thinking, it's actually been quite a long time since I've actually massacred a tree properly in a video, and I've done it once before. I'm not sure whether it became obvious to you or not. This one has a feeling that it's going that way. So let's get rid of this. No, I'm not going to pot that up. See, my head's already going, let's just remove all of that and work with this. But I know there's a bud there, that's useful. There's probably going to be another one that's going to come out as a result of this, and that's what I like about the small leaf lime, is they do back bud profusely. There you go. Sorry, I'm going to tack some wire on this. I'm going to wire that branch up. Wire there. Oh, let's just take it in a direction of the bends. Okay, well, it's not half bad. Did I even see that? Nope. But just goes to show, and I suppose this is the argument for wire. It does solve some problems, especially if you create them yourself, which I just did. I actually like the look of that, and if we get a branch coming out the back there, that will be very good. So all I'm going to do now is prune back a little bit of the undergrowth, and that'll do. Feed it up heavily. Up back, we've got two. The way I'm doing is looking as we've got quite a gap there. We've got this here, and then we've got 1, 2. So what I'm looking for is hopefully something from one of those. You can already see, I don't know if you can see it in here, there's already a bud showing up there. Stubs. And I'm going to keep working my way through that. So we've got 2 there, probably go back all the way back to there. Oh my gosh, someone's just got shot. We've got this lovely one back here. And at the back of the leaves, there's some, is there little insects on that? Don't think so. Good. It's a big leaf, you don't want a big leaf. Looking into that, got a dead bud there. 1, 2, these are all upward facing, which can be resolved with a bit of wire. I might be putting more wire on this. And then we're going to take it back to these 2 leaves here. Stub, get rid of that there. So if I wire that, okay, well that's the wire I'm going to put on. And probably the only thing I'd say you can see is going to be a very sort of flat line plane there. So that branch would be nice coming further around. But let's just see what we can do with this. Okay, well what I'm doing is if we get stuff coming out, they'll come out on parallel, on more horizontal paths. So we'll see. All right, happy with that. Okay, so continuing to just remove. What's that got on it? I thought that had something on it. It was a bug. Lots of little buds in there, you can see, all ready to shoot, which is why I'm quite happy to do a 7. And I was reading something today that I think Harry Harrington put out his latest blog post on Bonsai for me, and he was talking about, you know, if you have the choice, your best option with this tree, with most trees that defoliate, is to do a partial defoliation rather than a full defoliation. Am I going to want more growth up? I don't think so. So I'm definitely an advocate of that sort of, gosh, I said to you I need to, oh my gosh, definitely need to sharpen these. Okay. Yeah, so he's full on for partial rather than full defoliation. Looking at the back, 2 buds. Don't want any more length there. Down here we obviously don't, oh that's a sidey. Get rid of them. Further up, I mean there's a little bud here, that's a lovely one there if that bud went, because we'd have a branch coming out there. Rather than that one there. This one here probably needs to be wired down and out. And there's no point having the rest of this. Very lightly wire this one. What I want to do is encourage it to just head in the right direction. Now, these grow fast, so I do need to watch the wire on this. I definitely have experience of marking these ones. And anyone who saw my my video about scarring my prize maple will know that it can happen ever so easily, no matter what the preparation. So we just want to put that one basically down there. This one could actually give ourselves a bit of a back branch on it. Okay. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Probably don't want that going out as far as it is, but in fact, I don't like it going out as far as it is. We've got this here, which means we've got to be looking at reducing. This one here, that one again, I don't want to put too much stuff out. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut that back. Got one here that's going to come straight at it. Just wondering whether this is too high anyway and detracting from, I think it is actually. We've got a small branch here and here, so I'm just going to take that off. Do with a little bud coming, there's little bud points there, so I'm actually going to see if I can get it to go. Let's just get a bit of cut paste. Said I was going to use a brush for this, didn't I? I've got a brush. Come on. My skin's sizzling. Everything's sizzling. I'm not going to be able to sit out here that much longer. Probably about 14 degrees right now. Okay, so you see that? That's looking, well, it's looking a lot different than what I imagined it was going to be, but I can see a shape of a tree, and if those come out, if I get that back branch coming out from this bud down here, yeah, there, so we get this whole sort of mango-y type effect. Just wondering whether that branch does actually need to come out a little bit, so you can just see it, the back there. We've got that one, that one, and then let's leave it. Let's leave it like that. We're coming out far too much here. And I think the front is somewhere around there. I probably want to get a nice, I've definitely created a hollow there. Yeah, get some nice healing on that. So we need to get the putty in there. I do like it when the temperature starts going up, because the putty starts becoming a lot more manageable. Okay, yeah, it's much better. Any others I can heal? There's a hollow in there actually, I need to look at that. The next thing really, I'll clean the moss off. I suppose it's been in this for 3 years at least. It needs to go half again, and I need to explore just how great that root structure is. There is definitely an option, looking at that, of doing an air layer at that point. But, you know, sometimes with a lot of trees, and it's a personal preference, I quite like this sort of mangrove-y style, and it depends how I set it up in the pot, whether I sort of, you know, enhance what that actually is. Got some more food in that. Definitely put some Dougie's balls in there. Done a little bit more manipulation in the wire. Again, a lot of leaf has come off, so that means I'm going to put it into a shady part of the garden for a couple of weeks, because what we don't want to do, scorch the leaves. But there it is. That's the Linden. Didn't see this coming, but you know, it's all very organic, and organic's good, isn't it? So spin it all the way around. And what I love most about these as a potential bonsai subject is they just back bud from all over the place. So you can get branches appearing where you just never expect them, and often that's really just what you're looking for. Now I'm going to take you over to my failed hornbeam air layer. I think that one's going to be more a case of, I'll tell you what, let's have a look at it. Okay, this hornbeam went on a long way that way, and in fact, although the air layer failed, it is the one where I just basically put that failed air layer straight into soil over the winter, and it's still producing leaf. So I have good reasons to believe that that's actually going to succeed despite the air layer failing. This one got wired up heavily last year. I took the wire off last week. So all I'm going to be doing, reducing a lot of the leaf, probably about 50%, so that I can have a look and see what the structure looks like, and then make decisions there. So, you know, partial defoliations. Easy, I'm going to be going back, like the example here, great big long structure here, there's nothing on the inside. I'm going to take it all the way back to 1 or 2 buds, and then, as I say, I want to get rid of a lot of leaf. Also do leaf cutting with the bigger ones. You get that triangle shape, an example here, fold it inside, at least half the size, and this is what I will do with oaks as well, and it creates that. But we can actually look further back. And yes, the leaf will brown on along the cut edge, but it will still photosynthesize. So I'm going to go around and do that, and then come back to you when it's done. That's all it is. Although this is nice here, this is potentially going to be what I need to one heal this, but produce something from here. So there we go. Now let that keep growing. I mean, the roots on this is appalling, so that could end up being an air layer candidate, but hey, we'll see. Anyway, come back to you when I've removed half this mop. Okay, I thought I'd bring you back 2/3 of the way through, because I think already you're going to notice there's a massive difference. Hornbeam, again, they bud pretty well, so I'm expecting a pretty decent second flush from this. But I'm just trying to clear lines and get a feel myself of where it's going. And again, I'm trying to look at this without having to use wire, because they grow so profusely that actually big dangers with the hornbeam is you get wire scar and just can't get to the wire. But I'll let you have a look and see. Clearly see now we've got some lines here. I haven't fully decided where it's going. I really haven't, but it's opened up the pad layers, little layers here, and I go back to 1 or 2 buds with the whole idea of creating these new pad lines. It could be, I think I saw the front being something in there actually, with potentially that one being a sort of anchor branch at the back. I don't know. Could be that just gets cut off even more. No, I don't think there's a front there. but that way, and then I can use this trunk, this bit here. In fact, that's probably why I've got that marker there actually. Yeah, I'll put the front somewhere in there. So we've got something under there, but all I'm doing now, you can see on some of these, cut it back 2 buds, leaf cutting, there's the size I like, so I'm trying to cut the leaves to that sort of size there. And I'm just thinning it right out, and some of the branches aren't in the right place. We need to stop now because Katarina wants to show us something.
My tree has got little buds on it. Look.
Your shadow's in the way. You can sit here then. She's going to sit here and tell you about it.
No, I just took it.
Go on then. Well, now you're going to talk to us about what it is you were so excited about.
Well, I hadn't seen it in a while, and so I just looked at it, and it's got flowers on it. And
show me the flowers. Whoops, now it's my shadow.
yeah, it's your shadow, your big shadow.
Oh, you want one of those
I need a
pokes?
chopstick.
You need a chopstick.
So the flower here.
Let me just zoom in on those flowers because I know everyone will be really interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another one. In there.
Wow. Are we all excited about that?
There's buds up here as well.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
And loads around the back.
Yay.
That's
Okay.
exciting.
All right. Well, thank you for that that update. Cheers. Well, there you go. There's something for the bonsai retreat. Number 3, daughter was very excited because she saw little flowers on her cotoneaster. I'm sure we must have an update. I think James did a repot and all sorts. I never got around to doing it. I might showcase some of his jewellery as well. Okay, so what were we talking about? Yeah, we'll leave these to grow. All I'm doing is cutting back, leaf cutting, and just getting an idea of the structure. I'm constantly now trying to look at taper. That's fine. Fresh leaf. Here, as soon as that, we've got a big leaf over here. And the obvious thing would be to wire it down, but I'm just going to take it down to there. Remove the odd leaf here and there. Reduce the size of the leaf. Reduce the size of the leaf there. So we're getting a nice flow of air, and the tree loves that. Now, one thing to notice, I don't know if you can see it, it's almost like a sticky reflection there. That means the bugs are getting to it. And the reason why is because it was so cluttered and chaotic. It's a bug's delight. And you know, with some of these, these lower branches, I may end up wiring them, but I'll wait until the autumn. Well, as it turned out, that was pretty well done anyway. So I'm not entirely sure where the front is, but all cleared out. Lots of space, lots of room for new growth. Front may be there, but I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see what that does. This one here may get wide, but I want it to be a lot stronger before I do that. Yeah. So, from Xavier, having had positive results from both his failed airlayer experiments, I don't want to bake anymore. I can feel my my chest starting to constrict as the skin slowly burns to my flesh. My flesh congeals to my bones. I don't know, one of the two. Thanks for taking the time to watch. All the best for your bonsai. God bless. Cheers.